Hi guys,
welcome to TwoDumb,
a podcast about being
dumb.
being young, dumb,
and 21. No, we're
We
not.
wish.
We wish. Welcome back to our podcast. We're so happy to have you here. We are your co-hosts. We forget to keep doing that.
Right. My name is Christy.
My name's Mase.
And thanks for coming back, you big dumb
Thank
babies.
you. We are so happy you're here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Episode
thanks for
5.
being here. You're a loyal listener, and we can't thank you enough. You're the
Truly
reason
can't.
why we're on our way to stardom.
That's one word for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stardom.
We celebrated a milestone today of having 250 plays on our Spotify. So
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Insert party celebration sound clip.
If we knew how to do that.
Yeah. Someday soon. How was your week?
It was amazing.
Yeah?
I haven't told you this story yet, but I went on a date with this guy.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And the first thing he did is he gave me a cereal bar.
Right, a cereal bar?
Yeah. He goes, I have something for you. And I was like, what? And he pulls out a Cinnamon Toast Crunch king size
You just met this man.
cereal bar. Yeah.
I brought something for you.
That made me really nervous. I was like, what is he
You're
reaching
he's
for
like,
in his
I brought
pockets?
this dick.
Yeah. I was like, oh no. Please, I'm scared. And yeah, that was really crazy. And I ate it. It was
Was it
really
good?
good.
Yeah, no, I think they're really good.
It
I
was
haven't
really
had one since I was in elementary school when it was the Fruit Loops one. There's a Fruit
Have
Loops
these been
one.
out for a long time?
Oh yeah, since like the early 10s, early 09s.
We didn't grow up with sugary cereal in my household.
Really?
We only had multigrain Cheerios. And so,
You know, just is the same thing.
so these are kind of a revelation to me. I've just been really getting into sugary cereal as an
I love
adult.
sugary cereal.
I'm obsessed with it now. I
hold
can't
space
get
for all
enough.
sugary cereals.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite.
I grew up
though.
with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted
Oh,
Flakes,
God.
Fruit Loops,
I'm so jealous.
the apple cinnamon ones I've had.
Oh my
So
God,
good.
the apple
The
cinnamon.
strawberry banana ones.
I can eat an entire box of the apple cinnamon Cheerios.
in
don't
one sitting.
No, don't get them near me. And then the
Don't.
milk, when
Oh
you
my God.
drink the milk afterwards,
It's a visceral experience. I'm like,
that's better than sex for me.
it's better than sex. And Honey Nut Cheerios too are
Honey
really
Nut
bomb.
Cheerios, milk, Cheerios, milk.
Cheerios, milk.
Is better than sex.
Glug, 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 glug.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first. Sorry, we're getting off track. We went to Din Tai Fung last week.
Yes.
It was really fun. If you don't know the lore, I'll give you the lore.
Here's the lore.
So
Listen in.
I not necessarily grew up with it. Din Tai Fung came about, I would say like 7 or 8 years ago.
The way you say it came, it's like the coming of Christ or something. Like it came
was
to
the
us.
Birth of
It came to Earth.
Came to Earth. Din Tai came to Earth.
An Asian food chain.
Fast casual Asian food chain. We loved Din Tai Fung. It started in the West Coast, in California, I think, or maybe it didn't. I don't really know. I didn't do any research. It's basically fast casual upscale dining, I'd say. Like
That's a crazy amount of adjectives
Words,
that are
yeah.
also a little bit contradictory.
right? I don't know. Like I feel like it would
No,
be
but you're right. They're
Like,
contradictory, but I also agree with that.
the environment is very upscale, but the dining experience itself is quite casual.
Sure.
We got, I mean, you'll see if you follow our Instagram or TikTok all the food that we got, but we got spicy noodles, wontons.
Yeah, the shrimp wontons were insane. The chocolate bao we got for dessert.
I dream about it.
Because Mason was like, this is the best thing you're ever going to eat. So I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So they put down the chocolate bao and I was like, ready to go. It like with my apple cinnamon Cheerios. So they put it down,
Literally
chopsticks
so
ready,
same.
grabbed it, shoved it in my mouth. It was
Almost burnt your whole mouth.
So hot. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
It was like Willy Wonka Augustus Gloop dense chocolate wrapped in
Yeah.
a very soft bun. And then we got the sea salt cream.
God.
OMG.
So
Get the sea salt
good.
cream. It's only $1 upcharge. Do it. You'll thank yourself later.
The thing is it's kind of a vibe. There's mood lighting and it's just kind of chic looking in there, but you
It
don't have
is.
to be dressed nice.
Yeah.
It's like a much more elevated PF Chang's. You see the chefs in the back rolling out the
Yes.
bao and stuff. It's like it's all fresh,
That's a great comparison. I
Yeah.
think it's a better version of PF Chang's.
much more elevated. I think it's all freshly made. So I
made
think that's
in
why.
house. Yeah. We did knock points down on our experience for the table we were
did.
sitting at because It's basically the restaurant is downstairs, and we went on the night, the coldest night.
It was
in
an
New York
8-degree night.
It was so cold.
And guess where they stuck us? By the front door.
By the front door. By the front door. It was miserable.
Because we're just some big dumb idiots, and they can do that because we're not going to say anything.
Because we don't want to be an inconvenience, and as service workers, we want to make it as easy for them as possible.
We were like sitting there with our coats on.
I had my Canada Goose on the entire time. Like,
we had our puffy coats on. We're eating bao, and we're like shivering, and they're like, "Is everything okay?" And we're like, "Oh my god, yeah, everything's perfect. Thanks
So
for asking."
But I think this week we're going to do a little bit of Mediterranean, switch it up a little bit, because we've done Din Tai for some Asian. We did Katana Kitten for some more like Asian, Polynesian.
We did Sushi Osaka for some Asian. We're bad food
and then
bloggers
Ease Bar for sloppy dive bar.
For sloppy American burger slop. We're new to food blogging, so just give us a second.
Give us a second to gather our bearings.
God,
we're going to go to Mediterranean
stop
this week.
Screaming at us.
Literally,
Please.
get off our backs. We're trying to do our best. But yeah, that was where we went this week. And
seriously, check it out.
Yeah, seriously, check it out. Back to the cereal bar topic, though. Okay. Is there going to be a second date?
I think so. I'm not sure. He sent me a really aggressively sweet text at the end of our date, and it made me really uncomfortable.
Aggressively sweet? He was like, I really enjoyed my time with you, and I really want to have more time with you.
You are so beautiful. Thank you for sharing your time with me.
Aww.
And it made me so uncomfortable.
I understand
because
that.
It's kind of hard when men who I don't know are like, you are a princess who deserves bountiful flowers.
It kind of makes
and
you like a little bit like, huh?
I don't know how to react to that. He sent me that text. I was like,
did you respond ever?
No. I didn't.
How long ago was this text?
Like 2 days ago. Anyways.
So the gym I go to, I pay a pretty penny for. And with it comes with a really great amount of classes and all of these included things. And so on Saturday night, after work, I was like, I really need to go to the gym. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to work out because I've been on my feet for the last 9 hours, but I do want to just go.
Pay for that.
Right.
You're paying for it?
I'm paying for it.
So you're going to have your body in the gym.
I'm going to have the body in the gym.
You may not be
doing
using
anything,
your body, but you're going to have it in the gym.
So I'm like, I'm going to go put my body in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, there happened to be a meditation sound class.
What?
So basically.
Only at your gym.
Only at my gym. I go downstairs. There's like these big pillows and these blankets and these like towels and mats. And so you like get your own equipment and
pillow equipment.
And you set it up and the class starts. It's like a 45-minute meditation sound, and this is a woman around a metal bowl. That's kind of like, like that music.
I love those metal bowl sounds.
And she just does that for 45 minutes, guides you through breathing. So halfway through the session or the class, someone starts to snore because someone is so like invested.
Someone is so deep in the meditation. They took it too far.
That they're snoring. And it wasn't snoring that like was a little too obnoxious. I think it was just like a heavy breathing that just ended up being at some point in the room that the acoustics were catching it. I could definitely hear it and I wasn't even near it. And I was like, okay, I'm like not pissed off about this. I'm just going to rest my eyes. And it was like...
Mouth breather.
Cut to this girl goes, can someone tap the person snoring? In the middle of the woman like, deep breaths. Gong.
Can someone please euthanize this man?
And the second I thought of that, I could not stop laughing. I was laughing so hard. I keep going to these yoga classes too. And some people are hilarious in this class. You would think that they are doing computer engineering, rocket science, heart surgery. They are dropping blocks. They're falling over. They are like slipping. Some person the other day was sweating so much that they slipped while they were in Warrior 3.
It's not even that hard of a position.
And fell face down. It is
face
the most
down, ass up.
Exactly.
This yoga class just got really interesting. I'm so glad you actually brought that up because that reminds me. So Mason and I go to very different quality level gyms.
Yours is nice quality,
but not the same. I tried a yoga class for the first time at this gym.
How was it?
And this was my experience.
Okay.
The teacher was pretty much sexually harassing me the entire time.
What happened?
He was the worst. And all I wanted to do, again, it was like I work 2 jobs. Okay, I'm exhausted. I'm auditioning. I was like, I'm just going to go to yoga and breathe and stretch and just mind my business. I always pick the back right corner of a class. Like, I'm not even ever in the front. I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I don't even like instructors talking to me. I quite frankly don't. And they were like, what's your name? I'm like, I don't want to say.
Oh, yeah. They never ask for our names.
Yeah, this guy, literally, I walk in, he clocks me and goes, well, what's your name? I've never seen you. And I was like, oh, my name's Christy. Go to the very back of the class. I sit at my mat. The entire class, it's an hour and a half, which I didn't know that going
90
in, by the way.
minutes?
90 minutes!
Holy shit.
So the start of the class starts and he immediately comes up, we're in a pose. He like touched my hip and he's like, yeah, Christy, this looks great. Looking really good. And I was like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, maybe he's just trying to make me feel welcome and confident and like comfortable. Did
he at the beginning of the class be like, if you don't want to be touched, like raise your hand?
No, none of that.
They do that every class.
Yeah, he didn't do that. He just touched. And then he proceeded to do that the rest of the 90 minutes. He probably said my name at least 15 times. And I'm so
in position.
Yes, I'm so uncomfortable. And then get this. There's one guy in the class. There's one boy. And so the whole class.
This is a male instructor and basically all women.
Yeah. And then there's this one boy. He's struggling the whole time. I feel horrible for him. He seems so sweet though. He's just a big dumb boy who's like, I'm gonna try to take yoga. And
those come to ours as well.
And those are the kind of boys where I'm like, you should walk up and help him and be like, that looks good. Encourage him to maybe come back. Especially like straight men, it is really hard for them to, I think, try out a yoga class.
100%. And they need that kind of nurturing, kind of coddling mentality.
Not that they ever nurture or cuddle us. Yeah. And so he looks over. So he just finishes complimenting me for the 20th, but like in a very uncomfortable way. Because I'm not even that good at yoga. Okay, so that's why I knew this was something was up, because I'm not very good at it. And I was like,
in like an overt way,
very obvious. He looks over this kid who's shaking on the mat, and he goes, "Yeah, Justin, that just looks horrible. Like you might as well just like stop right now."
And doesn't come adjust him?
No. And I was gagged. And then he stops the class. He's like, everyone stop and look at Justin.
Oh my God.
And it was like, you guys should not be doing what Justin is doing. And I just remember
that instructor should be fired.
He was the worst. He was the worst. He had like a comb over. And he was just like this old middle-aged guy who wasn't very good. And he talked the whole time, flirted with people, and then insulted people. And I was like, why am I here?
What the fuck? I'm so sorry. My gym like always asks if we want to be touched in a very discreet, anonymous manner. Like we're all in child's pose. And so if we don't want to be touched, we just like turn our hand up or our palm up. And then they come around and they clock it. And when you're in a rough position, they will come adjust you if you've asked to be touched. If you don't ask to be touched, they'll like walk you through it. But like there's no one coming and overtly like touching or
grabbing your hips,
grabbing or harassing or verbally harassing.
Sucked.
Have you been enjoying that gym though? In general?
Yeah, other than that, it's really lovely.
Good. I'm so glad.
But one day I'll be with you.
One day, baby.
So last week, if you listened to last episode, Mase did not know what smut was. And so I Googled online and I found some of the craziest lines out of these books. There's a lot of smut out there, and I didn't realize this, okay? And just to like re-clarify, smut is just like these porn books that mostly women are reading.
Is it straight porn, basically? Like,
well, there's a lot of gay smut.
Are these books that you can buy in Barnes & Noble?
Yeah. They're just like on the shelves at bookstores.
And they look like fantasy books, but they're like porn?
Yeah. It's like Game of Thrones, but you read it.
So interesting.
Yeah.
She got me a link to smut porn and she's going to read some right now live.
So these are
I don't know any of this. I'm going to react live.
These are some really crazy ones that I found on Reddit.
Are there any like scenarios like, or are you just going to read lines of porn?
I'm just going to read some lines.
I'm nervous.
Okay, this was like a little bit of an easier one. I'm starting off with some.
We're going to start off slow and soft.
He dipped those clever fingers into my weeping woman's core, and I cried out. That's the first one.
Okay, that's beautiful though.
Okay, this one's crazy.
I'm so
scared. We might have to bleep some sound.
If we figure out how to bleep.
You think? Okay, ready?
I don't know. Am I? Should I?
You think you get my cock just because you want it? That's not how it's gonna work, you greedy little slut.
Wait, keep going. We should go get a book at Smut.
When you at Smut, when you see women on planes or on subways and they're opening a book half the time, this is the shit that women are just reading out in public.
You see this like lovely little woman sitting on the train with her Kindle.
That's what she's reading.
Oh my god, wait, more Smut.
Okay. Gonna own you, sweet girl. Bend you over and spear you.
Bend you over and spear you.
I'm actually crying. I just Googled worst smut lines.
Okay. Oh my god. This is insane. This one's crazy. Are you dripping with my best friend's cum right now, Seattle girl? God. We should go buy a book and read it.
Okay.
We should pick a line from each week for each week.
Can we even put this?
I don't know if we
online?
can, but it's so funny.
Let's research it.
Let's research our smut. Oh my god, I'm obsessed.
Okay, so that was maybe a new segment, smut lines.
Let's
of the
go to
week.
Barnes and Noble on Broadway and 76th and get some smut.
Just buy some books.
Let's buy some books.
Okay.
Comment down below if you think we should bring in more smut.
If you're reading smut right now and there's a really funny line you read, send it.
Send it.
And
We
we'll
want to
read
read
it.
it. We will read it live on this pod.
Yeah. We won't out you if you don't want to. Like, who gave it to us?
What's that one? Gonna get you right, little girl. What'd you say? When we're drinking, I'm gonna own you.
I'm gonna own
sweet
you, little girl. I'm gonna start saying that to men, just like if they bother me on the street. I'm saying, I'm gonna own you, little girl.
You should say that to your yoga instructor. I'm gonna own you, little girl.
If he touches my hips one more time, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna
You
own
look
you,
up
you
from
little
downward
girl.
I'm gonna own you.
I'm gonna own your ass,
Yes,
little
little
girl.
dog. I mean, little
Little dog.
I don't know where that came from.
You little dog. Ooh, Mason's already getting.
I'm getting into the smut.
You should write it.
I'm gonna write some smut this year. Going back to more holy topics.
Wholesome.
I'm gonna call this the making bed analogy.
Okay.
I have been making my bed personally for like years, every single morning. It's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning. I can't start my day without it. It's almost like my cup of coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about it and I was like, making my bed feels almost like I'm brushing my teeth. Like it feels like something that I need to do and makes me feel restored in the day. And I'm not sure if that's like just me or if that is something other people can relate on.
No, they've actually psychologically proven it. That
I
people
feel
who
like-
make their beds are happier. Because it's like you wake up and you at least, like they've done studies on it and they've proven that like if you wake up and at the very least you just make your bed.
Make your bed.
You are going to have a better day because you're off to a good start.
I feel like I just like have a better day when my room is tidy. And that is only something that started like in college.
See, my room can be a disaster, but as long as I come home and at least my bed
bed's
is made, hate
I
it.
absolutely love coming home and then and like in bed, opening the sheets and the sheets feel fresh every time.
Oh.
There's something about it. I'm like really loving it right now.
Yeah.
And at this age, there are certain things as we continue to grow up that I'm learning more about myself that I find quite interesting. I think also at a time when I feel like right now I'm learning so much more about myself than I did 2 years ago even or a year ago. And maybe that's because of living in New York City. It just like is the hardest place to live and
It's
it
also
pushes
'cause
you.
your frontal lobe is probably just
Maybe like finally forming.
because you're 25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's literally the age where your frontal lobe finally like.
I feel like I'm
fully
like,
forms.
oh, this is why I do things and this is why I enjoy doing
Isn't
certain
it insane?
things. Yeah.
I remember I just felt like a completely different person around the age of 25, 26. Today I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm angry because deep down I'm a little
Yes.
bit jealous about this.
Yes.
And I need to work on that.
Yes.
It's like you just fully, there's like a full through line between your heart and your head
100%.
and your emotions.
100%.
Yeah. And it's an amazing feeling.
But it's very interesting. It's hard to like fully comprehend who we are. I don't know. Like, I still am trying to understand who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like doing that here is everything for me right now. I love learning about myself in this city.
And making the bed.
And making the bed is part of that.
Some people never skip leg day And some people never skip bed day.
Bed day.
Making the bed day.
No,
And
that's us. I just love it. It sets the tone of just being like wanting to put myself in positions that always can benefit me for my day, and that just happens to be one of those things. Yeah. 25. If you're 25 out there and older, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know what's up.
And if you're 21 and under, get lost. No, I'm kidding.
No,
you're living
you can
you're
stay.
living the best life.
Stay. So speaking of having a fully developed frontal lobe, I actually don't have one because I thought I did, but actually my brain's not developed at all because I did the dumbest thing at work. This man was from hell.
Oh no.
And he ordered a salad. He said, I want a Caesar salad, but I don't want Caesar dressing. He said, I want your citrus vinaigrette dressing. So I said, okay. And he said, I want it on the side. So I said, great.
Ooh, you have a citrus vinaigrette?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it sounds great.
And so I come out and he's like, you gave me honey mustard dressing. And I was like, well, that'd be pretty hard to do considering we literally don't have honey mustard dressing in our kitchen. And he was like, well, it tastes like mustard to me and I don't want it. And I was like, okay. And he was like, just get me balsamic and oil or whatever, vinegar or whatever. So this is where I was an idiot.
Oh no.
So it's 6 p.m., mind you, and I'm going to this like station where all of our like sauces and stuff are. And there's our bottle for the oil. And right next to it is another bottle and there's brown liquid inside. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is the oil, the balsamic and the oil and the vinegar. So I pour it on the salad. And I give it back.
You
And
gave it back too.
And I put it back on the table. And he takes a bite and he goes, this is maple syrup. And I was like, what? And he goes, this brown stuff you put on the salad is maple syrup.
You go, what?
What? And I was like, oh my God. So then I had to get him a third salad. So then he goes, I want the chicken only Parmesan. So I ring and he goes, I don't want any eggplant. I just want chicken. So I said, okay. So I send in the chicken. And again, the food is at the table. 2 minutes later, Christy, miss, Christy. And I'm like, what? And I walk over and he goes, they gave me only eggplant.
This poor guy.
So
This poor guy.
So every single meal has been wrong.
Did you get a tip on that
and
meal?
he actually shows me, and there's literally no
Eggplant.
chicken. It's only eggplant. And I double check when I rang in, and for a fact, it said chicken only.
And they brought him eggplant.
But not even like eggplant with chicken.
Just
It was
eggplant. Just straight up eggplant.
Just eggplant. So then he goes, the only way you can make this up to me is if you bring me your guys' famous chocolate cake. So I'm like, you got it. And I said, you're not going to pay for it. And he goes, great. I go back to the kitchen. I need a chocolate cake. We're out.
I would have been laughing my ass off this entire experience.
No.
I would have been laughing. I
couldn't even, like, the guy was so upset, but it was so funny, honestly, that I wasn't even feeling bothered or upset that he was so angry with me because I was like, this is insane.
First the maple salad on the maple salad.
First the honey mustard dressing
Like-
that we actually don't even own.
Then the maple syrup. Then the eggplant only. Then the chocolate cake.
He was at the end. He said he's this Italian kind of dude. He was like kind of
Oh
giving
my
like Long
God.
Island Italian. He's like, just get me out of here. Like, just get me out of this restaurant. I was like, sure thing.
Did he tip you? Well,
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Christy, ma'am, miss.
Miss, ma'am.
One
ma'am.
second. 1 second.
Mommy's talking.
I can't stand when people are like waving me over and I'm in the middle of doing my job.
I'm like,
I'll look at them and I'll be like, uh-huh. Yeah. Or I'll wave back. Remember that one time when I was
yes.
I do that all the time.
I love that you
My
do
tactic is if someone waves me down at the restaurant, I wave back.
that. Hey.
I went to Applebee's
Again?
Again yesterday.
In Times Square?
Horrible experience.
What?
Yes. We sat downstairs. They put
Who'd
us
you
in
go
that
with?
downstairs, coworkers.
Okay.
They sat us in the downstairs area, and the downstairs area is the
Sucks.
worst.
Were you in the bar at least? Did you get the happy hour in the bar?
No, we didn't even get happy hour because it's Sunday.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so we were in the dining room,
Yeah.
like not even in the bar area, like the dining room
It looks kind
downstairs.
of dingy
It looks
down
like
there.
a diner. Like it looks like
Yeah.
stupid, dirty.
Stupid.
So then I got the really big meal deal, which is usually $10.99. Ended up being $13.99. Stupid Times Square. And then my chicken sandwich came out raw, and it was cold.
What? Raw and cold?
Yeah, and then the fries were cold.
Oh.
And it was just not a great experience. And I was like, I need my Christy.
Not Applebee's letting us
down. I think it's a different experience upstairs.
Yeah. It's a party upstairs.
Yeah. But it's just like one of those eggplant stories of like, and then I was like, it was hard to flag down the waiter for the check. And it was like, but Applebee's is like known for their bad service.
But at least like eggplant can't kill that man. Like raw chicken could like seriously
kill someone.
Make you ill.
Yeah, ill.
Like that's actually quite dangerous.
I wasn't like raw, but it was like it just like could have been cooked more.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I just needed you. I was like, this is not the same experience.
I'm so sorry.
The Din Tai and the Applebee's are like right across the street from each other.
They sure are.
That's why we love that area.
Our hot spot.
Our hot spots. But we're gonna go to a Mediterranean spot in Soho this week. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Super excited.
We haven't done Soho yet on this podcast.
I know.
I'm, really
I'm excited. Yeah, something like in the Soho area.
Yeah.
We got to really check it out. Okay. We have a new segment called Ick of the Week. We're going to talk about icks that grossed us out of the week. My ick of the week is over texting. And let's talk about it. Okay. This is every girl and every person. I like a little bit of a chase. I don't want a full chase.
Yes.
I want a little bit of chase. I want you to like respond to me and then make me wait for a couple hours and make me want more. But at the same time, I want you to like then be the one to initiate the conversation if you are the one to leave me on red. It's very psychological how I think. You know what I mean? So I want a little bit of a chase. But right now I'm in a situation where I'm getting over texted. And it's like, hope you slept well. Good morning. Oh. How are you? What's up? No, yeah. No. And I'm trying to give it a chance because he is being really sweet, but I'm not sure if I'm necessarily like attracted to that.
It's like there has to be some, you cannot put all your cards on the table like that.
Yeah, you can't. And I've been putting my cards out in a more methodical and strategic way. And when I say my cards, like talk about myself, that's what I mean, in a very more strategic way. So I just think that over texting can be a little bit overbearing, and I don't really know if that's just necessarily for me, but I'm trying to give it a chance. And like, he's really sweet, and I'm going to go on the first date. I'm going to give him a chance, but I'm going to definitely be communicative and be like, I want to move a little bit slower, and maybe in a way say, I want us to stop texting as much. I also just hate texting. I want to call or talk.
Totally.
I don't like texting. So
I don't like texting when we've only been like on 2 or 3 dates. Like, so how'd you sleep? Good morning.
We haven't even met yet.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
Why do you have all this time to text me? And to me, it's giving red flag.
I think that there's validness to like necessarily not always being busy, but I need you to not always text me. I don't know.
Sure. You don't always have to be busy.
Like busy,
I agree.
Yeah, but
just because you're not busy, you don't have to be on your phone.
No.
You could be like reading
or
enjoying a little walk.
And like, I'm super turned off right now.
Yeah.
So that's my ick of the week.
That is a good ick.
Thank you.
My ick of the week is in a similar vein, like I said earlier, where if I don't know like a guy yet too well, and he sends me a very, very gushy text message, it freaks me out. And like I said, that's probably pretty toxic on my end, and that's my own shit I have to deal with. That like, why does that bother me? But it freaks me out when you're on the date and they're like, we're gonna do that for the second or the third date, and they're like, well, I know there's actually a really cool spot, we'll do that for the second or the third date. That rubs me the wrong way. I'll actually like be on a date where I'm really vibing with a guy and I'm like, yeah, he's getting a second. You don't know that I'm giving you a second nor a third date. That's quite presumptuous of you.
You're pretty greedy. You think,
Greedy.
Yeah. Woo!
Woo!
You know, not greedy for love.
Yeah.
They're being greedy for your love.
I've
been in a position of being in that position and also planning the second and third date on the first.
Really?
So maybe that's what's also not working for me either.
Wow.
Which is a good thing to note. Yeah, like maybe
so
like
we're like helping you.
We're helping each other.
Give each other advice. You're like, don't do that. I'm like, don't do that.
Because he planned the second already. And we haven't even met.
That's crazy. You haven't even met.
But the meatball date, I was like, oh, we could do this like on our second date if there is one. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And was there a second date? No, there wasn't. So maybe I got to shut my mouth. Like maybe you could say like, if you're interested in a second date, we could do this. Or
I just think that's something you can text about afterwards or say at the very end. But when you're saying it in the middle of the date and we're like just still eating or having our first cocktail. No.
Good to know.
But I'm also kind of a bitch, so I don't know.
No, you're not a bitch.
Yeah.
It's really good to know because I've definitely found myself in that position of being like, on the second date, we can do this. Like the second date, we're going to make cookies and go see a movie.
Ew.
That was so funny. Oh my God. So yeah, Icks of the week. If you have any Icks of the week, let us know. And definitely we're going to have one next week, I'm sure, as well.
And on that vein, as we like start to finish out this episode, if you guys have any crazy first date stories yourself,
please,
any Icks of the week, funny serving stories, share them. And if you want it to be anonymous, it will be. But we're just here to like kind of tell our funny stories. And if you have funny ones as well, we genuinely would love to share them, whether it's with your name or anonymously.
We want audience participation.
Yeah, so start participating.
Yeah, be a participant.
Stop being shy.
Be a listener, an active listener.
If you've listened to 5 episodes, then stop being so goddamn
Don't shy. Don't be shy. We hear you. We see you.
We're nice.
We're in your ears. So just help us out. We might be ASMR. Because we want you to be a part of it. Yeah. But that's episode 5. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
And tune in. We're going to be going to a wonderful Mediterranean restaurant.
And if you guys don't already, please, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, any sort of traction helps.
Absolutely. Would love your help. Would love your traction. Would love your assistance.
Would love your traction.
But yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at TwoDumb Podcast.
And on Spotify at TwoDumb, the podcast.
Yep. There you go. You got it. And tune in next week for some more dumb shit.
Stay safe, big dumb babies.
Love you.
Bye.